Welcome to State News Network, the #1 news show on State of Survival. And yes, I know it's the only news show on State of Survival, but it is still #1. Today, me and Lou from 230 are going to be talking a load of trap. And what I mean by that is we're actually talking about trap. So we're going to join Lou on voice chat any moment now to talk through the pros and cons of doing trap. What is trap? If you're a new player, what does it mean? Why do we do it? Let's go over to Lou and talk about it right now. So welcome, Lou, to State News Network. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
At very short notice, but thank you very much.
Just a little bit.
So we're talking trap today. Trap, T-R-A-P, yeah, as usual. A lot of people from the later states asking a lot of questions about trap. What's the relevance of it? Why bother at all? There's other stuff to do in the game. What's the dealio with trap? Tell me a little bit about trap first, as a new player into the game.
The dealio. So trap is used for hero gear, hero designs, and a little bit of resources. So it's probably the quickest way of leveling up your hero gear, is to do trap.
Sweet.
It's done every other day.
Mm-hmm.
So
we have a cooldown, yeah. So at the moment I've got like one day left on my cooldown. So you don't have to open it as soon as it's cooled down. You can save it.
No, so there is. So if you, for example, set it at 8 o'clock on an evening, you can open it, I believe, 7 o'clock 2 days later. So there's like an hour gap between it.
Okay.
So you can keep getting it earlier and earlier if you actually wanted to.
Oh, so that's how you change the time. Right. Okay. Okay. So
as an R4 or R5.
You're an R5.
I am R5.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's scary. But you can actually automatically set it as well. So you don't have to have an R4 or an R5 actually there for when it opens.
Mm-hmm.
So anyone in my alliance will know that I am never on time, like ever. I'm always late, so we just automatically set it. So at a certain time of the day, it will just open straight away for everyone, so people can just go straight away with it.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's quite good.
Definitely.
So it's just an auto thing that happens in the alliance, and you can just all pile in and do what you want. Talk to me about formations. We've got this ongoing debate about who to send, who not to send. There's an entire song mentioning this.
Everyone will have an opinion. Everyone will do their own thing for trap. So there's some alliances where where captains are important. So that they say, set your own rally with your strongest, but then join with hunter heroes, like a hunter captain.
Okay.
In WoC, we don't really care. There's also not really any time to do that. We have so many actives that actually people that join us complain at how quick our rallies fill up. It's kind of what we joke as the curse of WoC, that you can set a rally and it will be full within 5 seconds. It's crazy. But people always say don't send infantry to trap. So infantry, as you should know from your formations, infantry is there to take the brunt of the damage. So they're there to basically take the hit, and the hunters are there to actually kill the people or the monsters or whatever. So when you're doing trap doesn't fight back, so there isn't any need for infantry. That's why if you send more hunters, you'll get a better trap points and trap damage.
Okay.
But flip side of that is that we've done some testing sometimes, and actually sometimes sending more infantry is better. So I've done that once or twice because of how my research goes. So I'll always do infantry research, that my infantry is so much stronger than my hunters. So it kind of swings around about.
So it's not an absolute.
Should be more hunters, always more hunters, especially right at the beginning.
So it's not an absolute. It's just more of a guideline.
It's more of a guideline.
So if you have a default set of conditions, then that would apply. But sometimes, like you said, if you're focused on a certain path through the game, sometimes it doesn't work for you, and you can get a better result elsewhere.
especially like if your infantry heroes are so much better, then of course you're probably going to get a little bit better from infantry. But again, like all I would recommend is testing it yourself. You know, just say to your alliance, like, let them know that, by the way, for this one I'm just going to test sending more infantry. On this one I'm going to send more hunters.
Yeah.
And you find out what works for you, because it'll change. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But again, it's always fun to kind of learn that as you go about the game.
Okay, that makes actual sense now. That now makes sense why when I'm doing a live stream and someone comes in from an earlier state, they'll be trying to advise or, you know, give some insight into what to do, and there'll be someone from another state, maybe perhaps a medium state, saying, no, what are you talking about? That's completely wrong. But actually, it's very individual, because there's so many variables. No two players are the same in this game.
Exactly. 100%, yeah.
That's incredible.
It comes down to everything, like even like to your chief gear and your hero gear.
Yeah.
It all comes out, and your research.
And the order that you click things in as well.
Pardon?
So the order that you click things in, you know, might be different. We might end up with the same situation, but we've taken a different path to get there.
Yeah. 100%, yeah. It always changes, and it's the same for, like, some people say you should always go for a higher level, and some people say you shouldn't go for a higher level.
What is that thing about levels? What's going on there? Why would you not do the highest you could?
So with higher levels, the rewards are kind of similar, and I could be wrong, and I will be shot down for this one, but I actually prefer higher levels than lower levels. But you get really the same amount of hero gear and hero designs, but on the higher ones you get more resources. So I find I prefer it that way, because I'm a horrific farmer and always forget to send my troops farming. So for me, I quite like having the extra resources, but it's obviously a lot of pressure, because if you don't hit that higher level, then you don't get the rewards.
And is that
so a lot of people sit at like we do level 4 most of the time.
So that is the difference. Line. The difference is resources. It's not about gear or stuff like that. That doesn't change much.
It's minuscule. There is so little difference that it's not really worth going for a higher one, because you're risking like those rewards. If you're not going to hit it, then don't do the higher levels.
And if you lose it,
yeah, you don't get all the rewards. If you don't
get anything.
The trap monster, you don't get all the rewards. You get some, but not loads.
Right. Okay.
So I think when you are growing as a state, so like the newer states are like 800s, 900s now, it's worth doing the higher levels, because it gets people involved in trap, it gets people learning trap, and it's such a good way of getting your alliance together during the week.
Yep.
Whereas someone like us, so we're in 230, so we're one of the older states, obviously not the older, but in the older range. We're happy just doing level 4, because we'll get everyone coming in and out, and you can just get a set amount of rewards, and everyone's quite happy with that.
Yeah. So again, it depends on the nature of your alliance, the makeup of your 100%. Team, the whole thing.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Well, that's a good insight, and I think that's going to be really useful for people, especially we're approaching State 1000 now. So
I'm excited.
Are you going?
Oh yeah, I'm coming with you.
I'm going to be there as well.
We'll get our suitcases, and we'll meet in 1000.
Wow. So if anybody else is going to 1000, we'll meet you there as well. I wonder what trap. Interesting. That's going to be a bit of an anomaly though, because what's going to happen in that? I know for a fact there's going to be a streamer alliance there. What's going to happen with stuff like trap? Streamer alliance.
I think trap's such a hard thing as well, because it's such a set time, and obviously it's only half an hour.
It's not much, is it?
Depending on some alliances, so some alliances are quite clever, so they'll do kind of like country alliances. So I know quite a lot of like Indonesian alliances. I know quite a lot of like German alliances and a lot of American alliances. Don't know why I picked those, but even Australian alliances, because they can set trap at their time. Whereas in WoC we have like nearly every country. We've got so many people from literally all corners of the world.
Yeah.
so for us, trying to find a trap time doesn't always work very well, but we try our hardest to kind of accommodate as many people as possible with it.
So find a nice neutral time zone.
Yeah.
And then...
So another alliance in 230, so WOA, which is like our sister alliance, they have 3 different trap times. And each, I think every 2 weeks they change it to the other time. And that way you kind of get everyone to be able to participate in trap at some point.
So they change that time by delaying the opening of the trap rather than trying to chunk it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But doing that, you also lose a day of trap.
Yes.
So, but for them, they think it's worth it because more people can be involved at certain times. So they have one at like 8 o'clock in the morning. For obviously people that are just waking up, and for like the Australians, it's a really good time for them.
Right.
Obviously that doesn't work for like the Americans. So they've then got to do another time later on, but you can lose, like I said, lose that day.
Yeah. So you take the pain in order to help your alliance.
Yeah, 100% every time.
Oh, that's pretty nice though. I quite like that. Okay, cool. Well, look, I think that's amazing. So now people are going to know what's what from your point of view as R5 in 230.
It's completely my point of view. Another thing I'd also recommend, so a lot of people do it already, is not sit directly next to trap.
And why is that?
Actually go out one space.
Okay.
Because otherwise I think it's look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can only fit, I think, 8 people around trap at the moment if you sit as close as possible to it. But if you go out by like half a chunk, you can get so many more people round trap that they all have the same distance. So it's it looks weird when you look at it, but actually
I'm just looking
spreading
at mine.
it apart is...
How many have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We've got quite a lot of people around our trap. Although we've got a Colosseum in the way.
Yeah, that's 662. Yeah, I don't know why putting that in the middle is
interesting.
Probably Polo's idea, but
probably Polo.
Always blame Polo.
Just blame Polo. Hashtag blame Polo, of course.
Hashtag blame Polo. I don't like, for most people, the Colosseum, just put it out of the way. You don't need it in your centre of your alliance.
Yeah.
Everyone gets to it, and you can help everyone out with that. That's another kind of fun one to do.
Perhaps we'll perhaps next time we'll talk Colosseum then. And
we don't talk trap.
We're not talking trap this time. We're going to be talking Colosseum, which is going to be even better. But
we do talk trap a lot though.
If we do, yeah, we're always talking trap. It's
always talking trap.
We love doing that. It's a good thing. Anyway, right. Thank you very much, Lou, and I will speak to you next time.
I'll probably be in the stream anyway, so...
You probably will. Yeah, that's true. Your name's probably going to be typing while you're talking to me, right?
Probably.
Right, nice one.
Nice talking to you.
Bye for now. Bye.